started with our first game on Storm Point.
I haven't seen this POV for a little while, eh?
It's been 50 years.
You remember?
And look at everybody locked in and ready to go. I hear, Genome, if your forehead is touching the screen, that you are truly at your peak gamer status. But I know with so much on the line right now, this is where you want to get your head start for our teams.
Absolutely. I mean, we were touching on it just before, Vicky, about the fact that this is a 10-game Reject Winity and Fennel. Let's have a look and see how these two teams get into it. Just to start, looks like we've got a little bit of a split here from Reject. Two of them taking the coffin, the other one on the bins. There's a lot of bins down low on the other side that you can get a lot of loot out quickly. And then you get into the buildings. It does feel, I feel like Fennel have taken the better side in terms of loot so far.
And you can already see it. They're feeling up the pressure with Jung-hee taking a good amount of that damage, backing away. But, you know, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Reject Winity, our former LAN winners from the ALGS, just did not qualify for Split 2 playoffs, and they're getting double contested on both maps. And as RC now have taken onto that second floor, trying to get into position, they get the Bloodhound scan, and they know where they're now trying to split up, but they have the high ground. It's been actually really holding back here. You can see the team's not being too willing to get into it early. A nice couple of bursts coming out from their Hemlock here. And I mean, those weapons you pick up in these contests are so important. If you're running RE versus Hemlock, that's a tough matchup. Or even the Wingman, if you're able to pick that up off the rip. And the Havoc, of course, the topic as Fennel. They lose out on one already. Knoter is already losing out on his shield, trying to take a nice split angle. Reject Winity like a shish kebab. Our first squad to be taken down in this lobby.
Oh, you can see on the stage there announcing their departure at 20th here in our first match. And yep, as the, wow, we're getting so much information from this screen. I mean, okay, Zone 1 has started to close. And the other teams, of course, have been starting their own rotations while this is happening. Towards Barometer, that's where the zone is going. Lots of teams zooming in there, and even you can see the Fuse ultimates coming out very quickly, and that's Ninjas in Pajamas, who, remember, we just mentioned that before, right? They want to go for the hard rotate, but they haven't done it so well. Zane already down.
And it's because around 5 other teams have already gotten ahead of the curve to go in for a quick rotate. Zane getting knocked already as they try to take an aggressive position. It is Crazy Raccoon, the team that I said you have to keep your eyes on. One of the top 3 squads, in my opinion, in this lobby, looking to see if they could get some easy KP. But now seeing so many more other teams with their own quick rotate, you could expect Gaming Gladiators to make an appearance soon. Through that spider cave choke, exiting out of that south side of Barometer. We know that Team Liquid up on that north side by that building, also looking at Crazy Raccoon. Ninjas in Pajamas are able to get the res because Crazy Raccoon didn't want to give up their building. They didn't want to overextend. So now that gives NIP some room to at least reset before GG now come in behind them.
You can see Naski's been downed again though, and that was from Gaming Gladiators here. And unfortunately, the rest go with him. So Gaming Gladiators taking control over the orange here at the side. You can see, you know, burning the Seer ult to get that, well worth it. They'll be able to bunker down there for a little while now, and I'm sure by the time they take that next fight, they'll have the ultimate ready to go again.
We also see One Tappy just getting absolutely bombarded by Knuckle Clusters. And we got to talk about the fact that Liquid do land here in Barometer. They do have the POI advantage. That's why you see them on the high ground. But Falcons, with the quickness, they're already on the low ground, running the Watson, the Fuse, and the Bangalore, like we've seen previously in scrims. But they were able to get that easy KP onto Rufa too.
Yeah, so you could see from the map just up there, you know, Falcons did have that information on where it was heading. It is southeast of Barometer, which makes their position at the bottom of that tower quite good, especially running the Watson here on Jen Burton. Ever the flexible player. One of the things that makes this roster sing is the fact that he can play whatever you need him to. Whatever the meta tells you is going to work, the Falcons will be running it because they have that flexibility around the players.
Literally a professional ditto out here while GHS with the crypto drone. You saw them too, like immediately just melt down the crypto drone. drone. They knew that he wanted to try to linger around, try to collect those player banners, immediately shot that down. And you could see here the nice display that not only did Falcons go for the quick rotate outside of Mill, they had ring console information. They probably picked up that Trident, used that Evil Harvester to their south, and then immediately rotated alongside so many of these other squads like Crazy Raccoon, who were already there, Liquid, like we said before, who lands there, and then other teams like Guild, who do take their time to play by the edge around with purple egos.
Look, speaking of teams that are taking their time, Vicky, there's quite a few. I mean, if you noticed on that map, maybe 8 teams have sort of made their way in towards Barometer. We didn't have the dotted circle there, but it is, you know, towards the south of that map in terms of where the next ring will be pulling. But interestingly, it's about 50-50 between the teams who have, you know, really gone towards the zone and the others who are just, really taking their time making this rotation. I'd say that's a little more biased towards edge teams than we usually see.
Seeing where that circle goes. I just have to point out, that was so cool. The banner that tells you the teams that are currently rezzing in real time while spectating the other squads with GHS. We talk about the crypto. They were able to get the double res, but immediately shot from the sky, one tappy. They at least get into the crevice down below and are looking for the res, but these teams are hungry. Do they want to overcommit with so many other squads around the area?
Yeah, that sewer position is always an interesting one to play, isn't it? It's so defensible. You know, especially if you've got a Watson, I mean, grenades can be a problem for you if a team really commits a lot of ordnance down there. It's just getting out of it, because the zone isn't really going to end there. You're always going to have to make a move from that position at some point. And at that point, it becomes a little bit tough. Everyone's looking down you with very, you know, high ground sight lines. It can just be, it's kind of like, okay, this is going to be good for us until later in the game, but at that point, we're going to have a much bigger problem to solve.
Eventually, especially seeing where that circle ends up pulling. LG in a completely different world right now, all the way northeast, closer to Stormcatcher, and it was the fight probably for that ring console there. They're currently facing up against Red Rams, while LG are looking to maybe see if they could continuously either gatekeep Red Rams, because both these squads have to eventually move, since we know that that circle is pulling south, but they're wasting so much here. Between the Seer ult, we saw the Mother Load being used earlier, and Red Rams actually disengaging rather than feeling themselves in this fight.
Makes sense. Don't want to be on scan with the Seer ultimate. Don't want to be getting stunned, as we just saw, by the Bang ultimate. That's, you know, what is it, 7 seconds of stun? You've got to, that's a lot of time that you have to wait out.
No. And Sweet was literally 1 pixel from getting knocked, and they immediately try to capitalize off of that, but it's a trade-off between Red Rams and LG. Beast of a Hunt from Dax, they follow up, get Funk next. Only 1 member of LG still alive, and Datch looking to pop this shield back for free. Nice cover here as well from Inca, trying to take a different angle.
Okay. Well, the knockdown shield here, it's not going to do a lot to block that Knuckle cluster. The scan comes out, and he actually gives him so much information there to grab the last kill. Very well played by Red Rams. And, you know, we were kind of talking about dumping all the utility there, right? And, I mean, that's why you should do it, because if you lose that fight, that's it. You're done for the game. You may as well invest it now and, you know, see tomorrow out at least.
And I love the timing to the way that they did rotate around those ults too, right? You saw the Beast of the Hunt activated before. They didn't try to fully engage, gave it space, like you mentioned, around the Seer ult, so that way they could see other entry points, but they still had to commit, because Sweet was so low that if they give it any more time, Sweet was able to reset for free, so it was really good pacing on that fight for Red Rams.
No, I think it's a really good breakdown there. Red Rams just on the edge of the circle will continue in, but we move over to Disguised. They are sticking around Bean at the moment. They managed to grab triple purples and will go towards Guild Esports.
Disguised here, also wrapping around, utilizing the Trident too, just so that way they could close in that space here. It was the Evil Harvester up ahead, and it looks like right now Design trying to set things up. Let's jump into a listen-in currently to see what Disguise has.
We should push up the left side of cannon. I'm gonna stay over here just in case they try to cut in early.
Okay. Look at minus. Cannon's holding the rock right now.
And me, you probably should play towards cannon side. I'm gonna go under the net, make sure they don't get that.
me take my stage here? No.
Yeah, I got my stage.
I'll go there, I'll be close, I'll be close.
They know I'm split.
The other team behind us.
Dragon is spotted over there.
Yeah. Hold headies. Play safe. That team that's zone wrapping is gonna cause some chaos, and we're gonna fucking take advantage of it.
He's on the rock.
Yeah.
All right, nice little scouting ahead, just so that way they could see what they have in front of them. But can we talk about, you know, the committing to the Wraith and the Bang?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about scouting ahead, that's 2 legends that are really designed pretty much for that. Generally, you would only see one player on either the Wraith or the Bangalore, and you know, usually it's the IGL. They're both characters that allow you that mobility, that allow you to get out of jail card. It's just really good for an IGL who wants to play out ahead and kind of work out what your outs are. Now, you know, designs, they copped a lot of criticism in the past for playing that Wraith and not playing the Bang. Now they're trying to make it work with both.
And Red Rams just have not stopped with this fighting too on the other side. I know there's a little bit of whiplash here, but this guy's looking ahead. But we saw earlier on Red Rams moving forward. You know, Fentanyl was actually right in front of them with Makers right to their side. So we have to stay tuned to what's going on over by Jurassic Park as we still take a look at the way that this circle is pulling closer to where Gaming Gladiators actually rotate from.
Very much so, going south, going southeast, as we were mentioning. And it's actually gone so far that there's going to be a bit of the pylon choke in, which means that Twisted Minds going up against EVO's Predator here, they're playing for a very good spot in this next zone because they're going to have a choke to themselves and they'll be able to look down at the rest of the lobby. This is a very important fight here. Let's see how Easy Flash and co take this one.
It looks like we are just dancing around these zip lines, though. Immediately gets the knock after this, but I'm worried about the potential third party from Gaming Gladiators since they still are by the edge of this circle. Maybe looking to see if they can poke out as EVOs immediately are able to get away, but only as a duo. They lost out on one, and in the distance, they are getting they're feeling the pressure, actually. It looks like from KCP, from the jungle side. Beautiful stage display here, but Disguise also feeling the pressure after their rotate, losing out on enemy.
Oh, they actually get away without the full kill, though. That's really important. Is the other nades going to take out enemy? No, they might actually be able to get a reset here. That would be, honestly, pretty incredible.
Okay, he's going to get the res. The smokes immediately right afterwards, and they had a Watson gen left by another team in the past, so they could actually move back and utilize that gen just so that way they could passively recharge those shields or feel out that pressure. But this is the fight that we were expecting. Red Rams coming in from Jurassic Park. Now, actually, there was a jump tower that was called in earlier on, but the nice beams coming in from Dats. They are feeling this pressure right now, riding the momentum after that previous fight.
Oh, wow. The L-Star just goes to town on Makers. And look, Red Rams, we know that they're a team that has no fear at LAN. I mean, they contested TSM and did away with them, right? So the fact that they've already taken out Makers and LG, two very strong fighting teams, well, looks like Red Rams might be back, and they're bringing it.
It's going to be difficult, though, on their specific rotate, since we noted earlier that this circle is pulling more south towards the bridges by Gaming Gladiators, exiting out of Barometer almost towards the east side. So with EVOs as a duo, looking to try to go in from that north side of the circle, KCP looking at them, Guild, as we currently see, still trying to coexist with so many other squads within the middle part of Barometer.
All right, so we're trying to get the portal out here for Disguise to make their way out of the sewers. We talked about how hard it is to get out of the position. This is honestly one of the best ways that you could do that. This is where Wraith pays off if they can find a good spot to place the end of that portal. I guess we'll see if Disguise make it out of this one unscathed. You can see Guild kind of looking for it right now. You know, have some space by themselves. And over on Bamboo, we've got Red Rams going in for it yet again. They've got the taste of the blood. They're up to Reds already. They want to press that advantage.
That was a beautifully placed nade right behind the aggression. KCP get annihilated. It is Red Rams fighting their way through that part of the circle. And with Red Evils, they already have the health advantage, but they lose out on one.
Oh my lord! Datch just absolutely deletes someone with the vault, but it's GK. who come in and put a stop to their rampage. I mean, that was, look, they definitely bit off a little more than they could chew there. But look, KP going their way, that is a good thing.
But the circle's closing in behind them here too. Even though they are able to get that KP, they are going to have to start moving into the open, into the line of sight of the likes of Crazy Raccoon, FaZe. We saw Gaming Gladiators in that fight previously too, versus Twisted Minds, who won the DBZ building over by the bridge side, uncontested by the way, because all the rest of the lobby, all these other squads will be coming out of Barometer side.
Disguised team up with a few other squads here to take out Guild. They did not make it out of that position. Watson, good for the static situations, but once you have to get moving, she's not quite so useful. Falcons have been holding onto this middle spot for quite a while, but now it's all down to Hal to try and make it out of this, and I don't know if he's going to. He looks for the swap. They planned ahead, but it's still not enough.
Nah, it was very unfortunate. He had to turn his back there too. EXL fully healthy, seeing the solo that was Hal run away, cleaning him up, sends out that thermite. Slavisa on the Pathfinder board, grappling right back inside of the building. It is Aurora, one of the only teams, probably the only team, rocking that lifeline, still committing to this comp that they have been running throughout the entire Apex season here, and now have claimed the inside bottom floor of Barometer.
Yeah, with the upgrade system, really the only thing that was able to bring Lifeline back into the meta. And as you say, Aurora being very loyal to that character. And it's, look, frankly, I love it. It's a very exciting play style here.
They're still alive. Disguised is still alive. I cannot believe this. Aurora scooping in may have actually given Disguise a second chance, while on the other side, playing by the fence line is FaZe. But how is Disguise going to get out of this? I mean, other than a portal, I mean, Aurora is going to know that they are feeling the pressure here.
Okay, it's time for the next portal here. It got them out of a sticky situation earlier. Can it help them do that once again? They are within the next circle, I think just in that corner. Meanwhile, you got a couple of teams fighting over this building here. GK actually did manage to make it out of Bamboo, and they're getting, laying siege to CR right now.
Yeah, CR is feeling the pressure. They had 2 knocks on their side here too. Only Sangjun up and alive and healthy, but on the other side, GK, only with Kilo alive, trying to play around the gen, trying to get as much KP and an Evil Shield swap here before jumping onto that second floor. The Catalyst, though, barricading the door in as that circle is slowly closing in behind them.
Disguise have gone up the top of the Barrow Tower. Once you fall off there, it's very hard to get back into the fight. It's a very committing sort of situation here, and Team Liquid,
What?
wow, get just stomped by Aurora up the top.
The timing from Aurora, from the third party, Disguise and Team Liquid, we're so busy with each other playing off the high ground that was just a free third party timing from Aurora to now not only claim that bottom floor of Barometer, but also now the rooftop before they eventually have to drop down in the next 40 seconds.
4 squads left alive. FaZe only with a duo. Rest of them still fully stocked. You can see Aurora have the high ground here. Twisted Minds, however, as you can see, have already picked up 12 points. Doing very nicely. I heard a lot of positive sentiment from other teams and other players about Twisted Minds and their prospects for this tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a deep run here.
Definitely one of the teams that I had my eyes on too, and dominating. Remember, they were the only squad coming out of that southeast side of the zone after they took out Gaming Gladiators on their rotate through that DBZ building, and now also uncontested from the bridge point of view once this final circle closes. As FaZe is a duo, there's 2 squads coexisting in the Barometer building. It is GHS and Aurora.
Low ground position from Twisted Minds. You can see they're just trying to play outside of the exhibit area right now. They don't want that information to be the end of them. And there we go, managing to grab Arctic. So now just the 1 player left alive from FaZe.
And it's a tough position to be in when you know that you are in the line of sight of Aurora up on the high ground. GHS, let's not forget, they also had a really rough start. They lost out on 2, had gotten the reds, and are still alive. Crypto Drone flying around. Nags, literally with only 1 shield bat, 1 med kit. Can he make this magic happen?
Yeah, just looking at his face, I'm not sure he likes his chances right now. We'll see as the zone pushes everyone in here. The care package was still available for the lifeline above. At one point in Apex's history, you could kill people with the care package. We've got a very small zone here. Is that still in? Like, it's been so long since we've seen. Yeah. Someone like could find me on Twitter and tell me if that's the case.
I believe I've tried to do it myself just to test, and I think it just bonks you on the head. But we gotta see. We gotta see here as GHS try to send up the evac so that way they can jump around it here too. Distract as Aurora drop down from the high ground. Looking on the other side, love this positioning that we're seeing currently from Aurora. Nice beams and lovely follow. FaZe get eliminated. Our last 3 squads left.
All right, GHS, Aurora, Twisted Minds. Oh my lord, this bang ult from 9 Impulse is doing damage, and it looks like GHS are going to be on the wrong side of it. Twisted Minds, can they win from the low ground?
I don't know. Aurora now punching through from the circle here, feeling that circle damage. Melee coming in as Aurora Gaming take game number 1, the pop-off from the squad.